George and Lily skipped down the sunny streets of Tbilisi. They were on a mission to find the city's best khachapuri, a delicious, cheesy bread. A map was clutched in Lily's hand, but she was sure a shortcut existed. "This way," she declared, tugging George down a narrow alley. Little did they know their shortcut would lead them on a hilarious adventure. The alley opened into a bustling square, but something was amiss. Cars zoomed around, beeping wildly, but their beeps sounded like voices. "Out of my way, slowpokes," honked a red truck. George and Lily's jaws dropped as a sleek black car winked at them. "Hey, there, kids. Fancy a race?" it purred. Lily, ever the adventurer, grabbed George's hand. "Let's do it!" she cried. And so began their wacky race through the city, dodging talking taxis and chuckling at the sassy remarks of passing buses. The race led them to a grand hotel, its doors flung open as if inviting them in. Breathless and giggling, George and Lily stumbled inside, the sounds of the city fading behind them. Little did they know, their adventure was just beginning. The hotel lobby was strangely deserted, except for a row of elevators, their doors opening and closing like winking eyes. Before they could explore further, a voice boomed from behind. "Hold the elevator!" It was the red truck from the race, its front grille twisted into a mischievous grin. George and Lily piled in, followed by a giggling family and a businessman who looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. The doors slammed shut and the elevator lurched upwards much faster than usual. "Hold on tight!" chuckled the red truck. The elevator shook and rattled, the lights flickering ominously. George and Lily clung to each other, a mixture of fear and excitement bubbling inside them. Suddenly the elevator screeched to a halt. The doors sputtered open, revealing not a hotel floor but a giant slide that spiraled down into darkness. "Whoops! Wrong floor!" cackled the red truck, its headlights flashing mischievously. With a lurch, the elevator tilted forward, sending its passengers tumbling down the slide. George and Lily screamed with laughter as they whizzed down, the businessman's briefcase flying overhead. This was definitely not how they planned to spend their afternoon, but it was an adventure they wouldn't soon forget. The slide deposited them back onto the bustling city streets, but even here the strangeness continued. Traffic lights blinked in a kaleidoscope of colors, their usual red, yellow and green replaced with a rainbow of hues. And that wasn't all. To the rhythm of an invisible orchestra, the traffic lights began to dance, swaying from side to side and flashing their lights in time to the music. Cars, no longer beeping angrily, honked in a melodic tune, their horns creating a bizarre but oddly catchy symphony. People on the streets stopped and stared, their initial confusion giving way to amusement. Even the pigeons bobbed their heads as if enjoying the impromptu street performance. George and Lily, caught up in the absurdity of it all, found themselves dancing along. They twirled and giggled, their laughter echoing through the streets. For a moment, nothing else mattered but the joy of the present moment, the sheer silliness of a city gone haywire. But amidst the laughter, a question lingered in their minds. What was causing this citywide glitch? Exhausted but exhilarated, George and Lily decided it was time to get to the bottom of the city's strange behavior. They remembered their original quest for khachapuri and asked a friendly-looking street vendor, "Excuse me, do you know why everything is so different today?" The vendor, an old woman with twinkling eyes, chuckled. "Ah, the city is playing its little games again. It happens every few years. Some say it's a mischievous spirit, others blame it on an old computer system that runs the city," she said, pointing towards a towering building in the distance. "That's City Hall, where they say the heart of Tbilisi beats." Intrigued, George and Lily thanked the vendor and set off towards City Hall. Could an old computer system really be responsible for talking cars and dancing traffic lights? They were determined to find out. As they walked, they noticed something peculiar. On walls, benches, even trash cans, someone had painted colorful murals depicting whimsical scenes of the city. These weren't just any murals, they were filled with life, humor, and a touch of magic. Could these murals hold the key to the city's mystery? City Hall was a hive of activity, with people rushing in and out, seemingly oblivious to the city's unusual behavior. George and Lily slipped past the hurried adults and found themselves in a grand hallway lined with portraits of important-looking people. And there, at the end of the hallway, was a giant computer, its screen flickering with lines of code that seemed to dance like the traffic lights outside. As they got closer, they noticed something else. Hidden within the lines of code, almost invisible to the naked eye, were tiny images and symbols. A cat wearing a hat, a sunflower with a smiling face, a dancing teacup. These whimsical drawings were scattered throughout the serious-looking code, and then they saw it. A message spelled out in colorful letters. "Look closer, little ones." The city's heart beats with creativity and laughter. Someone had embedded a secret message within the city's computer system, a message that celebrated the power of imagination and joy. But who? Suddenly a voice startled them. "Curious children, aren't you?" An old man with a mischievous twinkle in his eye stood before them, a paintbrush tucked behind his ear. He wore a faded City Hall ID card that read Irakli, software engineer, retired. "You're the one who created the city's system, aren't you?" Lily gasped, recognizing the whimsical style of the murals they'd seen earlier. Irakli chuckled. "Guilty as charged. Back in my day, we didn't just write code, we infused it with a bit of our hearts. Those little drawings, the quirky glitches, they're reminders that even in a world dominated by technology, it's the human touch that truly brings a city to life." He gestured towards the screen. "Sadly, they're trying to update the system, erase all my little additions. They say it's inefficient, illogical, but a city without a little whimsy is like a song without a melody." George and Lily listened, captivated by Irakli's story. They understood now that the city's glitches weren't errors, but expressions of creativity, a reminder that even in a world of logic and efficiency, there was always room for a little magic. "But why hide the message in the code?" George asked, furrowing his brow in thought. Irakli smiled gently, "Because sometimes the most important messages are the ones we have to search for. The ones that make us see the world with fresh eyes, with a sense of wonder." He ruffled George's hair. "And who knows, maybe, just maybe, my little message will inspire others to add their own touch of whimsy to the world." As George and Lily looked around the bustling city hall, at the hurried officials and blinking screens, they realized how easy it was to get caught up in the seriousness of it all, to forget the importance of playfulness and imagination. They decided right then and there that they would help Irakli spread his message. They would use their own creativity, their own unique voices, to remind people that even in a world of technology, the most important things were the ones that made them laugh, dream, and see the world through a lens of wonder. The city of Tbilisi, with its talking cars and dancing traffic lights, had taught them a valuable lesson that day. It had reminded them that technology, for all its wonders, was just a tool. It was up to them, the humans, to use that tool to create a world filled with joy, creativity, and a little bit of magic. News of Tbilisi's unusual day spread like wildfire. People from all over came to witness the talking cars, the dancing traffic lights, and the whimsical murals that seemed to have sprung up overnight. What started as a glitch transformed into a celebration of creativity, a citywide festival of laughter and imagination. Engineers and artists, inspired by Irakli's message, worked together to enhance the city's systems, blending cutting-edge technology with whimsical touches. Parks came alive with interactive sculptures, buildings lit up with dazzling light displays, and even the public transportation system became a canvas for artistic expression. Tbilisi became a shining example of how technology and creativity could coexist, how logic and imagination could work hand in hand to create a world that was both efficient and enchanting. And it all started with a mischievous software engineer, a hidden message, and two children who dared to see the world with open hearts and curious minds. The city's transformation was a testament to the power of human ingenuity, a reminder that even in a world increasingly dominated by technology, it was the human spirit, with its capacity for wonder, creativity, and laughter, that truly made life extraordinary. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the city, George and Lily walked hand in hand back towards their own neighborhood. They were tired, but their hearts were full of the day's adventures. They had raced against talking cars, slid down unexpected chutes, and danced with traffic lights. But more importantly, They had learned a valuable lesson about the importance of balancing technological advancements with the irreplaceable beauty of human creativity and emotion. They knew that the world was full of wonders, both big and small, waiting to be discovered by those who dared to look beyond the surface. They carried with them the memory of Tbilisi's magic, the echo of Irakli's laughter, and the firm belief that even in a world of ones and zeros there was always room for a little bit of magic. As they drifted off to sleep that night, they couldn't help but smile. Their dreams filled with dancing traffic lights, chuckling cars, and a city that had rediscovered the importance of a little bit of whimsy in a world that often took itself too seriously. And somewhere, in a small apartment overlooking the twinkling city, an old software engineer smiled too, knowing that his legacy of laughter and imagination lived on. The adventure may have ended, but the spirit of wonder it ignited would stay with George and Lily forever, reminding them to always embrace the magic in the everyday and to never stop looking for the extraordinary in the ordinary.